everyone, and welcome. I'm Sharon Hershowitz with the International Luxury Hotel Association, and today we're joined by Jonathan Heath, Executive Vice President of Food and Beverage and Hotel Operations at Starwood Hotels. So Starwood has re-emerged with a strong focus on luxury hospitality, and one of the things that makes the company particularly interesting right now is its view that food and beverage, wellness, and the overall guest experience are no longer separate parts of the hotel. They're becoming deeply interconnected. So, Jonathan, thank you for joining us today.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Starwood is relaunched with a clear point of view on F&B and wellness as central to the guest experience. What does that actually look like in practice across your properties, and how is it changing the way you think about the hotel as a whole?
Sure. Looking at our guest profile and then looking at the type of menus that we offer, because we have a lot of restaurants, and are we doing lunch? Are we doing breakfast? Are we doing dinner? Is it a night spot? Is it a rooftop bar? It can't just be copy and paste, copy and paste. So all of those dynamics have been changing over time, and ultimately, good food done well has never gone out of vogue. But at the same time, do we go into a hotel to have that experience? And globally, we're looking at how we attract guests into our environments, into our restaurants.
F&B and wellness are often treated as separate disciplines in hotels, but the lines are blurring fast. Where are you seeing the most interesting overlap, and what are the trends you're paying closest attention to heading into 2026 and beyond?
Yeah, so part of that, looking at menus and our collaborations with like just great partners, Michael Solomonov here in South Beach at our Aviv restaurant, as an example, is we're collaborating with people that may have an understanding of good ingredients, nutritional strength, and understanding where the guests may be coming from. And the way we're teaching our teams and the way we're going through clean ingredients, we're looking at sleep, we're looking at detox, we're looking at how to be a better you, we're looking at how this ties into your morning ritual, to your afternoon ritual, to your evening. So we're really tying the entire experience all together this way. And through that comes down to choice of ingredients, how we look at sustainability, how we look at zero waste, and how it's all actually folded in to give the better you, for you to live the better you. You have some people on oh, I can't have dairy. Oh, I can't have, I'm celiac. I can't have sugar-free. I'm on a detox. There's so much going on. First question, and it's so funny, I've just done a pretty big trip around the world to multiple destinations, and every single restaurant is, are there any allergies that we need to know about? It's like the first question. It's not like, how are you? How is it? This is the first question every single one person is asking. And it's kind of interesting. And so when we're looking at food, how do you leave an establishment where you're not stuffed, you're not bloated, which is to do with inflammation, which is to do with gut health and gut biome. So this is where it crosses over. So the mixture of having a little bit of understanding of, let's say, fermentation or best practices, or naturally grown food, seasonality cuisine, using this as an example, are things that we're tying into all of our menus. So people go, okay, the type of guests that we're coming in, they can continue their regime of what they're doing, whether it be exercise or a dietary, but we can elevate that experience with them.
Fantastic, and with all your knowledge around nutrition and well-being. So, what are guests embracing most enthusiastically? What are they asking for now that they weren't asking for a couple of years ago? And how are
Yeah,
you responding across design,
yeah.
sleep, and sustainability?
There's a joke in the company, driven from our CEO, actually, that I'm the broth man. But here's the thing, and we have it on all of our breakfast menus, and we have it also in-room dining, and we also fold it into our events menus as well. Because we forget the people that are just like, you have your kind of road warriors, you have your business, and you have your leisure. And all of these people have a certain want and need. And the traveler doesn't necessarily want to go all this distance, go, oh my gosh, I'm just going to be fried food at the hotel. right? Kind of as in the old school way of thinking. And it's just not that anymore. It's just beautiful, fresh ingredients. Yes, there's always playful and indulgent, but all that means is if you're going to have a hamburger, is have the best quality product that you can put in that hamburger, and hopefully some of it could be homemade. You could be making fresh sauces if you have the capacity, if you're able to do this. Your meats are hormone-free, and if you're doing a bread, is it a sourdough or something that's going to influence kind of gut health? When you eat it? Or is it just everything open from a bottle and slapped onto a bun and out you go? So the funny thing is the difference between those two will probably give you the difference between inflammation potentially, and you just may feel bloated, or the richness of just good ingredients. You'll just wow, your whole system will just love you just a little bit more. Portion size we've gone into as well, and not just kind of, it's not a from people go, oh, portion size saving costs. It's like, who needs a big 3 spoons of potatoes on their plate, and the amount of food that gets wasted, and so the proteins. And gosh, if you look into all these diets at the moment that are going on, and the magic needles that people are giving themselves, is like they're coming up for protein, and they eat less. They eat a lot less. So we almost need to cater menus to this kind of new wave of how people are looking after their bodies or treating their bodies to maximize on superfoods. Is it also now the next trend? What are our proteins? If it's a sausage, as an example, what's in the meat that goes in there, and how is it made? Is it the steak? Is it a chicken? Hopefully it's not just the chicken breast, that we're getting the whole chicken leg as well. So we're getting all these deep flavors. So the trends are interesting for us to pay attention to, but we should always go back to our base of good ingredients done well. And just because of the economies of everything and where we're going, you're also seeing menus shrink a little bit. And you're also seeing more daily specials being done based on availability of items. Which is I mean, it's a great thing. In theory, it means there's a lot of fresh produce that they're using in the restaurants that you go into.
I love that. And sustainability, I'm sure, is increasingly expected from your guest.
Yeah, the with all of this, the way we do our menus is also with zero waste in mind. So if I go from over into the spa, kind of what's left over with the coffee grounds are then used as body scrubs, which are then mixed with a sea salt, which is then mixed with some essential oils, and the guest can actually make their own coffee body scrub. And or from a zero waste standpoint, if you're using the ingredient of a fruit, therefore can you use the skin and dehydrate them and use it for a cocktail garnish? We do these great juices through a slow blender. It's a beautiful machine, and out comes the pulp. Now the pulp can be dehydrated and used in a granola mix, or it could be used to make a tea, or it could be actually used to make just a freshwater drink. So these things become important. The other thing that becomes important of this, and I move into banquets and events a little bit, is you just need to stop those plastic bottles and give people the option, maybe for a refill, and or look at glass. But this kind of, oh, it's banquet, so therefore everybody needs a plastic bottle. And it's just kind of, not everybody can get there, but we do use with our team a less is more approach. So let's do the wins that we can get. Let's measure, because you have to measure from a sustainability, zero waste, and understanding what you're doing. Let's also look at the food that we're giving out cafeterias and how we're doing that. And also let's look at what we do from a give back. So if you do have large events, are you actually giving it to a local charity that comes around and actually picks up foods that haven't been used for events, and they can actually feed lots of people? So this is very much in our mind when we're designing menus, when we're looking at establishments, when we're looking at waste, and all those continuously.
I love that. And I know we were discussing earlier in a conversation about leadership. You were talking about a new generation of leaders who are redefining wellness in luxury hotels and resorts. Can you tell us what you're seeing and how they're getting it right?
Yes, we've gone through, gosh, we could use the example of creatine. And the amount of people before that wouldn't do it and go, oh, that's just for guys doing weightlifting, right? And now we've got, hang on, it's for everybody. Is, oh, am I using it for my mind? Am I using it for my body? Am I using it for when I do a workout? So all of these, there's so many little moments that have moved on in the wellness, well-being, functional training, physical training, spa experiences. So spa is the word it's kind of going away because you're using well-being as a totality. And is that from the sleep that I get when I check in, to the temperature of the room, to how dark it is, to any supplements that I may be having, to have I got magnesium, or these type of things, to the morning gym ritual, that if you're looking at gyms today, and and we've got some pretty big gyms, the functional training aspect or area of a gym, and this is where the kind of the young leaders are understanding kind of next generations where they're going. The amount of equipment that's not used to the amount of equipment that is now doing this, and the functional training, because somebody either has an app, either has a personal trainer, or they want equipment that they can use their body and weight and balance and coordination with, as opposed to just like pumping heavy set motion weights. There's a mixture of this. And from the wellness and well-being side of it, from today's leaders, there's an understanding about how your room should be set, how the guest maybe should arrive. And if you've just arrived, and I think you've just done travel recently yourself, if you arrive late at night or really early in the morning, is let's just read the guest. And gosh, they've arrived late at night, so maybe they need to be given some sleepy teas, or a beautiful arrival, or would they like a bath soak? Maybe. Do they want a cheeky cocktail? Or if it's in the morning, do we need to rush you into have a spa, a steam? Do we need to get you changed? What is your mode? Are you here for a meeting? Do you need to be caffeinated at this stage? Or you've just done a long trip? Do you what the first thing you want to do is just check in and chill out and nobody talk to me? So this kind of EQ of it, and where it's going, is super important. If I reflect onto my daughter, and there's foods that she just won't touch, and just because from a wellness standpoint and upbringing and with the friends they're with, it's kind of amazing of what they know and what they're absorbing, to say this is the way I need to eat, or this is the way I need to drink going forward.
Absolutely, and that runs throughout your hotel and its programming, which is it gives guests so many more options.
Yeah, there's a big subject of zero alcohol or low alcohol drinks, as an example. This is actually a good one. Or coffee club culture that you're seeing, or the no rave or the no party kind of environment, but it's early morning fitness and then smoothies and then coffee type of thing. So we're leaning into all of this, and the days of, oh, do I just want a super sweet soft drink with dinner, or do I want something that's been a tincture or a tonic or a bitters or a shrub that's been created, for the purpose reason of this amazing non-alcoholic drink that I could actually sip through a meal and it's not sickly sweet. These are paramount, and you're just seeing this. You'll see this continue and continue for a time being.
And to go back to the meetings and events, there's a growing conversation around how hotels can help guests perform better, not just relax. How are you thinking about meetings and events through that lens, whether that's nutrition or environment or programming, or just the rhythm of the day?
Yeah, great question. I used our leadership team as guinea pigs at a recent large where we brought everybody together. I think it was 100 of us, and we pulled out bread, we pulled out pastas, we pulled out dairy, and we pulled out cheeses out of their daily for the daytime lunch, their lunch period. At breakfast time, we made sure we had broths, and at break, when you had breaks in the events, we also had broths, and we had energy foods, lots of fruits, and fresh made smoothies and things like this. So what it enabled to do actually is we're creating this kind of super smart thinker series, and catering to you performing the best you at a meeting. What usually happens to most meetings that we travel all over the place, we hop into a meeting and it's like, there's my bread roll, there's my salad, there's my kind of bottle dressing, and there's a pasta, and maybe there's nachos and all these type of things. And oh my gosh, so you eat them because you're hungry. And then at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., the starches are turned into sugars. You're crashing, and then you're like, oh, I need coffee. I need coffee or a chocolate or something to pick me up. And what we found is we weren't getting everybody crashing. We made sure we kept on, having people get up and move around for meetings. We made sure that we were doing matchas and all these different things but caffeine stopped in the afternoon. It didn't go past 2:30, so they could get into sleep. And that evening for this group meeting, we actually then brought on a lot more of the protein. And so we really changed up the way they experience a full meeting, removed things like 2% milk, but it had full fat. So anything, when you take fat out, generally you're going to put sugar in. A lot of people don't realize this. So as we built the menu from breakfast all the way through to all the little snacks to the coffee stations, we took away artificial sweeteners based on chemicals, and we put in just good natural sweeteners and things like this. So we really looked at the ingredients for the people just to see what their point of difference was. And I got a few more converted people on broth.
And hopefully a few more perky people in the afternoon.
Seriously, it gives you clarity. So, jokes aside and creating conversations aside, it gives you clarity. You can think through when you're presenting in the last meeting of the day's finances, and everybody's like, no, let me not go through all these shit. You stay focused and you're in. And it's quite amazing to watch people and how it changes them.
That's incredible. It's an exciting time for the industry, and thank you. We appreciate your perspective of where it's heading. And we're also excited to have you join us at the ILHS conference in December in Orlando, talking about traveling for the experience and how luxury hotels are making guest experience central to their strategy.
Oh,
So
it's
thanks,
key to
Jonathan.
everything. Key to everything. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time today.